you.
Well, just get on with it.
I mean, there's too much to talk about. You know, at the end of the day, there's just too much to talk. John, there are so many storylines with this season. And you and I talk about this. Like at times with that sport, with the crazy sport of college football, we cheer for the story, you know? And there are just so many stories right now. So many stories. It's crazy, isn't it?
Well, there were a lot of stories coming out of the Saturday
Oh,
college football.
oh,
Just some very unexpected turns of event. And what it does, they're great storylines, but it's challenging because you really don't know what to expect. And you think you know who's good, who's bad, who's mediocre, but you really can't be sure.
mm-hmm.
I mean, you start talking about on our SEC Unfiltered podcast with Blake Topmeyer. Blake posed a question to me. If you had to pick an SEC team, who's the team you would pick is the most likely to not make the playoffs, but to win a national championship?
Uh-huh. And what is the answer to that?
It is really challenging because everybody's flawed. But, I picked, the teams I thought might be the most likely would be Ole Miss and Tennessee. And here's why. For one, Ole Miss has two quarterbacks who can play.
Yes.
One goes down. We just saw what happened with Oklahoma. I don't like Oklahoma's chances against Texas as bad as Texas looked Saturday because that Michael Hawkins is not a quarterback, but he's playing quarterback with John Mateer.
Yeah, they're going to absorb some losses here.
Yeah, and they've got their schedule's just totally unfair. But I think Alabama's got a lot of tough games left. Still not sure Alabama can run the ball well enough. It did better against Vanderbilt. But you just go right on down the line. LSU, its offense has just gone off the tracks. Can't run the ball. No run blocking. Nussmeier, I think, is playing with a hurt arm. All that stuff. Georgia just doesn't have the defense. That's an unlikely development because you always think Kirby Smart, he'll have an elite defense, but he really doesn't.
We had a real Tennessee. I mean, we just had a real chance. That was a real golden opportunity.
I mean, Tennessee could be sitting there, make a field goal, and you're sitting right there with Ole Miss unbeaten.
Yep.
One of the reasons to like Tennessee is the schedule because you figure it can get in the playoff. I mean, you pick maybe Oklahoma's the best team in the SEC when John Mateer is playing. But the best team in the SEC can't make it through that schedule. I don't think Oklahoma can make the playoff. Now, Blake disagreed with me. Blake Topmeyer disagreed with. He thinks Oklahoma at 9-3 gets in. My contention is it's probably going to knock another SEC team out. So Oklahoma at 9-3, Tennessee at 10-2. Oklahoma beats Tennessee. It's in over Tennessee. Same way if it does that to, say, LSU.
Hey, Matt, I'm working on a thing with C tonight, and we're going to he's been like really charting ahead like a lot of the sort of the games of interest, and he thinks the playoff situation is coming into view. This is going to be the part of the year now where we start watching other teams' games and going, okay, is our 10-2 better than their 9-3? Like this is what we're about to get to here, Matt. It's good. Because you're going to have to figure out. We're going to have to sort these teams out at the end of the year because everybody, it looks like, is going to have a loss or two before it's over here.
And in most cases, two.
Yes, and sorting it out is going to be really hard. Sorting it out is going to be really hard.
But I do think you can get a 9-3 team can make it now.
Hey, listen, Bino said it's a foregone conclusion that a 10-2 Southeastern Conference team gets in. I don't know that that's the case.
Absolutely, yes.
Not if everybody. Well, I mean, it sounds good, but
yeah.
but how many slots are there to go around?
Well, there's
how many SEC teams are getting in? Look at the league right now.
How many 10-2 SEC teams will there be? There's not going to be more than at most maybe 4.
I think there'll be more. There'll be an extra team. There'll be 4 teams from the SEC make it, I think. But I don't know how far they'll go. And when you look at this, what's happened is you take the ACC and Big 12, people want to just shove them off to the side. Oh, they're not the SEC, the mighty Big 10. Those are the 2 power conferences in truth. But Texas Tech out there in the Big 12 is set up. If there's a really good team, it can win them all. That's a very balanced league, but one of the most impressive performance I've seen this year was Texas Tech going to Utah.
They spent.
And then Miami, another team that spent.
Yeah.
And I always write I was talking to somebody before last week's game against Florida State. They said they're betting on Miami heavy. I said, well, I just don't trust Carson Beck
or that head coach
kind of game.
Or that head coach.
Well, no, that's another issue. But Carson Beck played great. So, yeah, Miami and Texas Tech look like 2 of the better teams in the country. We can't be sure of that now, but the SEC, there's no team in the SEC that you can look at and say it's without any major weaknesses. All these teams look flawed. It's the strongest league again, but it's not the strongest at the top.
It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a really compelling run here the next 6 weeks. It's going to be. And we're going to be live at Calhoun's celebrating the Arkansas weekend on Friday. It's going to be unbelievable, Andy. Be down there playing music Friday as well. And then Marcos having a great tailgate in downtown Knoxville. John, are you going to that? Are you going to the Marcos tailgate? Do you know about it? You need to get to it.
What time is it?
It's in the afternoon. I don't know.
No, Saturday's a work day for me.
Oh, Saturday's a work day.
Well, I'm just saying.
We come back on the other side. Saturday's a work day for him. I mean, what am I doing Saturday? I'm playing 3 hours of music.
Well, that's your.
And then I'm going to turn around and stay up all night.
Tony, music is your hobby.
Oh, yeah.
And you just like talking to people.
As we continue with more on the other side.
Not like it's a job.
We double dip with a guest. Brian's double dipping us after this.
Are you searching for a great local coffee? I'm Billy with Grade A Grounds. You can buy our freshly roasted coffee online and support a good cause with every sip. Great coffee, greater causes. Visit our website today, gradeagrounds.com.
You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land? Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contracting. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting. Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good. When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Gufon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Gufon Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years, 5 generations. That's even longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Gufon Moving and Storage, pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too, both residential and commercial. And we'll provide you with personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know how to move all types of items. We pay careful attention to our clients' valuables. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Gufon Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering of commercial storage logistics, we offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistic needs. See more at Gufon.com. That's Gufon.com. Or check out the link at tclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's moving legend, Gufon Moving and Storage.
Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires, just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776. Or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Fall has officially arrived, so now is the perfect time to make sure your home's heating and HVAC system is ready for the season ahead. Don't ignore the warning signs that your heating or cooling system is struggling or nearing the end of its lifespan. And if you need fast, reliable HVAC repairs, seasonal preventative maintenance, or want to invest in a new high-efficiency system, then call the trusted HVAC experts at Pipe Wrench Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Whatever HVAC problems you encounter, our certified technicians will make a full assessment and then provide the best long-term solution to keep your home comfortable again all year long. We make it easy with free on-site estimates for replacements and free second opinions on repairs. And if budgets are tight, we offer flexible payment plans including 0% financing with credit approval. Be sure to ask about our 10-plus year warranties that are 2 times longer than industry standards so you don't spend a cent on unexpected costs in the future. So call Pipe Wrench at 865-264-8090 or book online at pipewrench.com to schedule your appointment today. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free.
T to the B, back with you, 865-200-5402. We're fan running toward the great William Pattison, who will have the playbook coming up on many of these same stations. It is the TLD Logistics Hotline. He is Dudley Dawson. He is the guy with his finger on the pulse of Arkansas. And Dudley, I was talking to you during the break. We were just laughing amongst ourselves here about that. Nico, I'm always going to leave you who left Penn State in the absolute dust over the weekend and left Penn State's playoff hopes on the cutting room floor, if I can use an LA term, right out there in Tinseltown. Are Arkansas fans annexing the craziness of that game? And are you, Dudley? This is an anything can happen sport, and anything can happen on Saturday.
Certainly it can, and I think there's a clear delineation of fans up here, those who are positive that things are going to move forward, and those who are negative that didn't think anything good's going to happen, and this is just the end of the year. I will tell you that since I talked to you last week, the circus or carnival has moved out of town now. It did leave a tilt-a-whirl, bearded lady, and the merry-go-round. So there's still a few things here, but most of the circus has moved out of town, and they've started to focus on not only Tennessee, but what they might do the rest of the year in terms of looking at coaches and all that. So it was good to see the Carnies here, but they're gone now.
So I got the great John Adams in studio today. Matt Dixon's here too. We're all curious. What, along with Brian Hartman, who's really basking in the glow of the Jags win last night, what remnants of the circus are left? Because really, that's what I want. Like, if I'm Petrino, I lean into this. I ride a motorcycle out. I put the what do you call that thing that and like in wrestling, the wrestling neck brace on, like you just got pile drove down back in the day, back in Bill Watts' territory. What remnants of the circus are still there?
For some reason, all he's pointing to is his success back as a head coach here. He's not playing up that motorcycle riding playboy type thing going on here. As I've said often and probably on this show sometimes, he went from being a player to a grandpa. In fact, he's got several grandkids now, and they're all into sports and at different places around the country. But he is a different fellow. It truly humbled him. I was skeptical on this, while he was enjoying himself here, and I think many people know I knew about it, but that's not my job to be TMZ and all that. I wouldn't go rock the boat because that's just not the way I do things. But that being said, I do think he's strictly focused on being a football coach these days. It is hard to believe this is not some type of coup that happened, but Arkansas set itself up in this way, and he's got 7 games to prove that he can still do it, or prove that they need to move on to what I said last week, and maybe what a lot of people want, and that's somebody with fresh energy who will come to the press conferences and say, hey, this is fantastic, we won, or this absolutely sucks that we lost, and I'm going to do something about it, instead of, I don't know.
I don't know really doesn't play well, does it, Dudley?
Not at all.
Dudley, when I go back to Petrino early in this year, I remember years in his career. I remember when he was at Louisville, and what he always impressed me with his ability to do is he went with different kinds of quarterbacks. I remember he had a guy from Louisiana playing quarterback for him at Louisville. Can't remember his name. I want to say he was a left-hander, but anyway, he was a runner, kind of, move around, pretty accurate thrower. But he would just have different type players at quarterback, and he could win with them. I always thought he was a really good strategist offensively. And I don't know if along the way, if he's lost some of that. How do you think he is now? Just forget all the stuff that's gone on around him, swirled around him, the controversy and all that kind of stuff. But as a pure offensive coach, how do you think he is now compared to what he was at his peak?
Up till these last 6 quarters that Arkansas had against Memphis and had against Notre Dame, I would have said that he appears to be still in his element, in his prime, and back how he was directing the offense. The offense was either in the top 5 or top 10 on total offense and scoring, and you could really tell that they put a lot of their NIL money into the offensive line, to the backs, to the wide receivers, and not much at all into linebackers and secondary guys and enough edge people, rushers and all of that. You could really tell. So I'm anxious to see now that he's running his own show, and I do think that he had Coach Pittman obviously could make suggestions or recommendations and had the final say, but I think he was running the offense. But he was not enamored at all with what was going on the defense, and which is interesting because they were pretty good last year. Tennessee will remember when they came up here and Arkansas defense played really well. Travis Williams was an up and comer, as I told y'all last week. He would have been the interim coach last year if this had happened. But now, because the defense had been so bad, not only did he lose the opportunity to do that, but out the door and looking for another job. So I'm cautiously optimistic, I guess would be the thing, to see how Coach Pittman's quiet discipline differs from I'm in your face, and if you don't like that there's been defensive changes and I'm the interim head coach, you need to, get over it, because you got to build your brand. If you either play well here and go somewhere else, or you play well here and stay here, but you need to start playing well or you're not going to play at all.
Dudley Dawson, you can follow him on Twitter. He's Dead Sports, Dudley E. Dawson, DED Sports, and he's over at hogville.net, among a few other places. Also does a podcast and some other fun things. Matt Dixon, jump in with Dudley Dawson as we look ahead to Arkansas on Saturday.
Yeah, Dudley, you mentioned Travis Williams, and they, had a really great game plan last year and held Tennessee to a season low 14 points, and especially that first half where Tennessee just kind of was really confused with the three high safety looks. But Travis Williams got fired. Arkansas's defense has been just really bad all year, and then obviously kind of quit in that Notre Dame game. What should we expect from Arkansas this week defensively? It seems like a lot of it might have been an effort deal here early in the year, but it's hard to improve it when you're kind of as bad as they are. And you make a coordinator move, get rid of a bunch of guys. What's the defense like? What are the expectations for Arkansas defensively going forward?
Well, here's what I tell you. Last year, they had a healthy amount of their money allotted toward defense. Had some really good players, a couple that are in the NFL playing now, and defensive linemen and linebackers and all that. So they had some players over there. They did not invest in that this year. They invested in offense and really just let the defense go. And Travis Williams is going to probably be a head coach down the line. He's going to be a defensive coordinator somewhere, probably next year and all that. It's a lot easier. I mean, you can have all the X's and O's you want to, but as they always say, you got to have the Jimmies and Joes, and they were just not enough over there. And to even add to that, as y'all said earlier, they just quit. I mean, it was just pathetic. And I rarely call out athletes for quitting because I think it's the worst thing you can do. But that clearly was what happened. They weren't playing for Coach Pittman anymore. Weren't playing for the defensive guy. I think the coming in and those three guys would have been out whether Pittman had stayed on or Petrino had been elevated. They had made that decision. But again, back to what I'm expecting on Saturday, I expect them to run to the ball. I expect them to play with more energy, and I expect them to give up about 6-7 touchdowns.
Brian Hartman, jump in.
Yeah, what's Arkansas like typically after a bye week? Heupel's 8-2 overall as a head coach, 4-1 at Tennessee, and he's undefeated at home, 5-0 at both places coming off a bye. I know it's a different coach, but what had Arkansas been under Pittman and this staff coming off a bye week? How have they looked? I don't know if you know the record or not, but I mean, what could Tennessee expect?
Right around 500. Yeah, right around 500 with Coach Pittman. And the one thing I will say is that over the course of these last few years, they always got one at somebody else's place, be it Florida, a couple of other places along the way. They usually got one. That if Arkansas had a legitimate defense, then I would tell you that I think this might be a spot they could get one because of the off week and because they would be coming in and Tennessee might be overlooking them. But yes. I know Coach Heupel has done a great job in his bye weeks and also has done a really good job at dealing with his injuries and building his team up to this point in the year. Yes, Mississippi State played really well, and I thought Tennessee was done there at the end, but superstar Jory Aguilar, came through along with the defense, and
Six-star.
they got that through there.
I'm jealous of that. I wish I'd have thought of that. He's a 6-star quarterback. Dudley, you never cease to amaze me. That's an interesting question Bri asked, because it's almost like in today's game, sometimes that bye week can be a reset. Another thing that's happened in sports down through the years, or the off week, I call it off week, but anyway.
Hey, man, everybody around here during this off week just bitched. I mean, I'm just going to be real clearly about that.
I got
players with their emojis on social media, the coaches, the fans, the media.
Everybody's bitching.
It was a bitch fest.
Hey, it's great. I'm in talk radio. I love that stuff. Look, here's the thing. Sometimes, though, you change coaches. You guys tell me why this is. UCLA changes coaches, okay? Now, it didn't happen the first week for them, but the second week, they went absolutely off on Penn State. Usually, it's that first game out, though. I'm hearing a fresh voice. Now, I don't know if Petrino is going to be able to do that because he's not like a warm and fuzzy guy, but who knows? Maybe these guys needed a not jerked in them. Is there any sense of unpredictability added to this game in as much as they made that change? Because Matt was talking about, like, what are they going to do different defensively? Surely Petrino's got some ideas. Surely they're looking at their personnel. What do you think, Dudley? Is there a chance that this thing can get kind of interesting Saturday?
Yeah, I do think they'll play much better defensively, but again, that's such a low bar with what they did against Notre Dame and really against Memphis in the second half. I do think the voice and discipline and just all up in your face that Coach Petrino will do has an opportunity to get them to play better. And there's some talent there. There's just not enough. But do I think they can go and beat this Tennessee team on Champions Weekend over there, honoring Coach Dickey and all those others? I think it's going to be awfully tough because there's a lot ahead for Tennessee. They still got a lot of goals and all that. And we're just sitting around here wondering what's the next shoe to drop. Hey, Rhett Lashley, how you doing? How about you, John Summerall, Ryan Silverman? Hey, John Gruden, did you talk to John Daly again this week? That's really what's going on over here. The game will be a nice distraction.
Well, and John Gruden, that's interesting, right? Is he going to be a candidate there, you think?
Say that again?
Is Gruden going to be a candidate there?
I think that John Gruden is a candidate at every spot all over the United States. And didn't he do the touchdown club there this week?
Yeah, he loves attention.
One here in Little Rock. Yeah, he gets all that. I mean,
he needs it, man.
He's the most available, non-available head coach out there. I think he and John Daly are good friends, but you can find him and Peyton Manning are good friends. All that.
Good friends, everybody.
I would love. If it's just up to me, I'd love to have John Gruden or Deion Sanders come here and coach, simply because of what I'm going to do these last few years of my career, write interesting, great stories. I want to hear fantastic quotes instead of "I don't know."
I don't know that.
Am I right, John? Am I right?
Yeah, that pretty much leaves you in a gunfight without a gun. There's not much you can do with "I don't know."
I don't know. Kind of hurts, doesn't it, guys? So here's a good little aside. You mentioned Doug Dickey, who's going to be in town this week. He's in his 90s. Doug Dickey was on Frank Broyles' staff as an assistant coach before he was hired by the Vols in 1964. He was at Arkansas from 1957 to 1963, and that is a very interesting little factoid heading into this weekend. You can't make that up, John. That's cool.
No.
The Arkansas has had some good head coaches. They've had some great
assistants. Well, Jimmy Johnson came out of there.
Yeah, and Frank Broyles is one of the all-time greats in college football.
Oh, yeah.
Really good player, really good coach, AD, and
incredible assistant
TV
coaches.
Analyst.
The guy, if you look at his
doesn't wait till game 5 to fire the head coach either. Sometimes he'll go in game 2.
He got was it was
Crow.
the second game with Jack Crow?
Yeah,
or
he
was
got
it-
him in
Yeah.
game 2.
The Citadel.
You know how as time passes, I forget things that I was thinking. I was thinking that he fired him at halftime of the first game.
Probably wanted to.
But it was but Frank Broyles, I mean, that guy he did so much. He did everything you could do in college football. Player, coach, AD, and a sports analyst on TV.
Dudley, you told us
one of the greatest things of my journalistic career was getting to go to his office. He'd just call some of us every once in a while. Come in, I want to talk. I'm 20 or 30 or whatever, and he'd ask me, my thoughts on things, and it was just a joy to be there and learn from that, and know that later on when I covered other ADs and coaches, whatever, that when they were saying stuff to me, I just knew ask me yes,
Well, that's right, and those guys are so fun. Like after the fact to talk to, because the guard's finally down. It's like I'm here because I enjoy being here, and I'm here because it's inside of me to be here. But, we're talking about Arkansas. You said something to me last week that I just hadn't left my mind. And I want to make sure I understood you. Were you just saying that in jest last week when you said that the Walmart people are investing more in the Missouri program football than they are in the Arkansas football program? Were you
absolutely not absolutely not in just most of the Waltons graduated from Missouri or have an affinity toward Missouri. Obviously Donald W. Reynolds and Bud Walton were both Arkansas supporters, but the rest of them, including Rob Walton and some others, have an affinity for Missouri, and they got a lot of money in their NIL and treasure chest and all that. And one of the reasons is because, let me just go ahead and say this. One of the reasons is because the last two athletic directors here have not cozied up to the fans and boosters the way that the previous ones did.
Well, you took the words right out of my mouth. I was thinking to myself while you said that last week, I thought, I think Dudley's just having some fun with us. Because the only way you could get to that spot is if you quit going to those people and saying, hey, we love you. All you got to say to those people is, hey, you have a seat at the table. It's not that hard, John. You have a seat at the table.
You go to them and say, what can I do for you?
And you don't even mean it. You don't even mean it.
I expect Walton Goggins to be named the new head coach here at Fayetteville after his new Walmart commercials. But here's the thing that I don't think a lot of people know. Bentonville is closer to the Missouri line than it is Fayetteville Stadium.
Yeah, but still, Dudley. I mean, like John said.
Saying, I'm just doing logistics.
So I love you, though. I love you because you're not afraid to call it out.
But Dudley,
you're calling it out. I love that.
What about the basketball program? They're invested in John Calipari, right?
Probably because he asked for the money.
Absolutely.
Because he asked for the money.
Anything he wants, he's going to get.
Because he asked for the money, though.
So what if
Yes, and because he does it in a way, and he
like Barnes does.
Kept up friends over the years.
You can't
here,
be afraid
in Arkansas.
You can't listen. Rick Barnes has shown me here. The way he works at Haslam's, you can't. You have to work. You have to ask for the order. You have to.
I got a point.
To have two ADs that didn't ask for the order there is a disgrace.
Is it easier? It's got to be easier to raise money for John Calipari than it is for someone like Chad Morris, right?
Yeah, and
people are going to, their donors are going to be more willing to put money towards
Sam Pittman. The same difference.
But you know what? Again, I want to encourage the kids this week because you're playing Arkansas. Go back and look at Arkansas's history. I'm telling you, when I was a kid, I'm 58. When I was a kid, Arkansas football was right there with the top programs in the sport. Coming out of the 60s into the 70s, all those incredible head coaches that started there. I mean, it's insane, their history. And for them to be left like roadkill on the side of the road in the modern era, John, just makes no sense to me, especially when you consider the Walton thing, until Dudley says what he just said, which is
Missouri,
they quit asking for the prize, and now Missouri has the players.
So don't you think
That's interesting.
If they were totally invested in Arkansas and didn't care if Missouri got a nickel, could they have a robust NIL program where they could afford to build an offense and a defense, do you think, Dudley? If all those people got behind Arkansas and invested totally in Arkansas, how different would it be, do you think?
Well, Eli Drinkowitz would be the head coach here instead of at Missouri. That all happened in one night at a Hampton Inn when they went to visit him when he was coaching, obviously at his previous start. And Eli's Coach Drinkowitz, excuse me, because I try to be respectful. When you're a head coach, you have to put yourself out there. You have to be in the social media these days. 8 people, I think I told you last week, at least 8 people turned this job down when it was finally offered to Coach Pittman, who readily accepted it and said, I'd take it even if they didn't pay me. But they ended up paying him $39.6 million over the course of this last 6 years in the buyout. And he's already got his house for sale up here, and we're moving down to his mansion down there in Hot Springs. He's good. He's good. I mean, he did a great job in resurrecting it from Shad Morris. But again, that was such a low level. But it would be totally different if all the money from Walmart and Stevens were incorporated into the university right now. But you not only hired a coach that couldn't really raise money and an athletic director who wasn't really good, you also started taking games out of Little Rock, and that's where the Stevens money is down there.
Well,
why would you do that? Why would you take games out of Little Rock? Again, I'm back to that. What do you do?
Well, because everybody wants
a full stadium in Fayetteville versus a full stadium in Little Rock. It's $5 million more.
Hey, John, though.
Yeah, but you could get that. You
can get that money back from those boosters.
Here's another thing.
That's
When
right.
you brought up the John
Short-sighted, man.
The John Gruden circus.
Yeah.
John Gruden could get those financial backers.
Oh, immediately.
He would put his arm around them and say, "Man, let's hang out."
Yeah, that's what the smart people in these sports, the smart head coaches, get to know those people that have money. It's your job.
Hey, we all
it's
agree.
Not that hard.
I agree. We all agree on that. But the one thing that John Gruden has to do is actually commit to doing it.
Oh, he's not doing it.
He's a much better candidate than he is realistic.
He's perfect for the social media
Groomers,
area.
The groomers.
Yeah, you know what he is. You know what he is.
And that's Grumors, not the.
Yeah, he's a groomer guy. And here's the thing about him: he had everybody. We were having apparitions of John Gruden here, like 7 or 8 years ago. Like literally, people were having apparitions of the guy. Like he was appearing to people in the clouds. The thing about Gruden is he's perfect for this age. He's a social media influencer. That's what he is. It's perfect that he's with the Barstool people because that's what they do. They make a lot of noise and get attention. And that's his role. Make a lot of noise, get attention. He's not going to coach somewhere.
But
and if he got back into college coaching, he'd have to have somebody else do his emails. I mean, that's just it.
Well, remember, here's the thing. Imagine a young Frank Broyles coming along now. He would get that NIL money.
They all would.
Frank Broyles would get that NIL money. You had back in, I'm old enough to remember when Darrell Royal was coaching Texas and Frank Broyles was at Arkansas, and they're competing for national titles.
But here's the thing, guys.
Coach Broyles would go up to Walmart, would drive to Bentonville and talk to the Walmart people there. He'd sit down and he'd say, I need some money. They'd ask him how much, and they'd give it to him.
Well, here's the thing. Back then, those guys went to those boosters and said, hey, we're getting a linebacker out of Dentonville, Texas. I need your help. Come on now.
Yes.
That's how it worked. That's how it worked from time immemorial. And now all of a sudden, you're just going to ignore. I mean, I'm just thinking about that. I know it's Tennessee show, but man, that pisses me off that you could be that complicit in the downfall of something that's. And those fans are cool. Arkansas fans, to me, John, have always been like fun, and it's a fun. They're a fun group. They've got a good history. There's no reason for them not to throw a formidable team on the field.
Well, that's though.
Vanderbilt's doing it, John.
SMU has entered the chat.
There you go. I mean, but you know what? Vanderbilt's doing it right now, guys. Vanderbilt's playing.
Who is investing money in Vanderbilt football?
Well, I'll tell you 2 people that are down there. Their kids are down there. The guy that started Yahoo, what's his name? The think tank guy. Somebody help me out here. The guy that used to own the Mavericks. Cuban.
Mark Cuban?
He has a kid there. And then there's another mogul I heard the other day. They got a kid there.
Yeah, but what? Just because they got a kid there, they're going to throw their money at Vanderbilt football?
They want to win. You want to win while your
somebody's
kid's
paying
there.
somebody's
paying somebody.
Somebody's going out and reaching out to them and trying to. It's what they're doing.
It's another somebody done somebody wrong.
Somebody's getting the Cuban and say, "Hey, your kid goes here. Why don't you help us out?
Why don't you help us? You don't want your kid to go to terrible football games." Hey, Dudley, tell the living listener how they can find you, and much love. Thank you, brother.
No problem. Inside Arkansas Recruiting Podcast, hogville.net, and Fearless Friday. I still keep my hand in high school football because even though it's a small little thing in December now, I still think high school football is important.
I agree with that. Thank you, my friend. I've dedicated a good part of my life to high school football. Dudley appears on our TLD Logistics hotline. They're online at tldlogistics.com. Matt, how angry would we be in this market if we had athletic directors that ignored the Haslams and just said, you know what, we just kind of don't need them anymore. They're billionaires. There's a damn Walmart on every corner in North America.
Well, here's
that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
But I know it is. But you get
they sell Tyson chicken at all those Walmarts too.
That's exactly right. I mean, think about that. They've got
I think that's who Calipari's close to is the
Tyson chicken.
It's all the same. No, that's the number one job of an athletic director today.
Yes,
it's not necessarily to make your fans happy. It's to raise the money, which not only sustains everything, but is the only way you have a chance to win now in the rev share era.
But see, you get these guys that come up. It's sort of almost like a corporate chain, and they think you do this and you do that, and this is part of your job.
Yep.
And they totally miss the big picture. I mean, that's more important than anything at Arkansas.
And
if that's all you can do with AD, if you can't hire a volleyball coach or a soccer coach or anybody, who cares? If you can get those people to support your program, particularly in this era.
All right, let's talk football.
Moneyball.
Matt, you and I have not talked since this Nico thing. And yesterday we did a thing, and we put it on the blog today. What I believe, two things I believe about college football after watching the weekend. I want you and John to give me a couple of observations. Because that Nico thing is the damnedest thing I've ever seen in my life. And look, people were telling me a couple weeks ago, why do you keep talking about Nico? Tennessee and Nico, listen, are linked, whether we like it or not. Whether we like it or it just is the way it is. It's going to be that way all year. And you have to admit to yourself right now that you were watching that game. There were two huge games going on in our window. And this is the first time I've said this today, or into the microphone. Yesterday, everybody had an opinion on the Nico game. You know why? Because everybody was watching it in this audience. So let's just all be honest about it. John, isn't that the truth? Everybody in this footprint was looking. Yeah, we had two huge games going on.
Well, look, we said that from going into this season. We were talking about, in one of our staff meetings, we were talking about Nico. People are going to care about UCLA.
Yep.
There's a lot of Nico haters out there. Mm-hmm. There's so much interest in Nico.
Yes.
And so whatever he does, there's going to be interest in it. And our analytics support that. People read these stories about, I think the most traffic I got on a column this football season was the first week I did one on Nico.
People are interested in it.
Yeah, because they're, as you said, they're intertwined.
Yeah.
And what was amazing to me watching Nico was against Penn State is that's what I thought we were going to see at Tennessee. We're just going to see this guy running around, scrambling, eluding tacklers, making plays. We got a glimpse of that, a glimpse of it in the Citrus Bowl against Iowa when he was a freshman. But then I thought that's what we got, and we never saw that. It was like we never saw the guy, what he's capable of doing. And I'm not all of a sudden saying he's a great pro prospect, but
Right.
as a college player, guy just going out there on sheer athleticism. I mean, this was no intricate game plan as how to attack Penn State. Penn State didn't know what hit it.
Well, here's my confession to you, and Matt, I want you in on this because I'm gonna lay this to the audience here. I found myself as the game was going along. I grew up in a Penn State family. Okay, I feel so good for that kid. And when they blocked that punt to get within 6 points, Penn State did, and they were getting ready to reel them in and do what was going to happen, what we all knew was going to happen. He ran like he was on Patrol Live. Okay, in that next set of that next series, and led them to a touchdown. I feel so good for that kid. His father put him in a horrible spot. And I feel so good for him that he had that moment on national television. I think that's, no matter what happens for him the rest of the season, I feel good for him in that. Matt, your thoughts on what we witnessed and anything else comes to your mind about this crazy sport right now? It's just crazy.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously that's the most inexplicable result of the season by a wide margin. And it's really, it kind of blends the best and kind of the worst of the sport right now with, Nico leaving and going out there to an awful spot. And then you have Jerry Neuheisel, who's like a UCLA lifer. I think he was like a walk-on quarterback there and just kind of never even used a headset. And he becomes their OC, a team that hadn't even led in a game all year. And they went wire to wire. The Rick Neuheisel on the CBS desk, all that. That's just the beauty of college football and how that kind of intertwined. But no, and good for Nico. I mean, they just. I mean, obviously Penn State wasn't ready to play, but UCLA was, and just it was one of those magical days. And Nico was just a really good runner. Maybe Jim Knowles listened to our show too much, and he heard you talk about Nico not being a willing runner. You just beat that point home to death. And to go on what John said, I think that was coached out of him here. They tried to. He's a much better runner than he is kind of a pocket passer. And that wasn't really the scouting report on him. But, I mean, it's very evident that he's a really dynamic runner in the open field. Not sure you can do that for over 12 games and survive it with the way he was lowering his shoulder. But that was just an awesome game. I mean, even if you took the Tennessee factor with Nico out, that's an awesome game to watch for college football and just to see. Just a stunning result that eliminates the number 2 preseason team from the playoffs.
And Matt, I really think Tennessee, it's got Nico, and it's worried about he's got to get through a 12-game or longer season. We can't have him running around. I'm sure Tennessee saw glimpses of this player that he was, and had to know that it's in there. But so I think they stressed so much, you got to take care of yourself. We can't afford for you to get injury. And so with good intentions, but in doing that, it took away Nico's greatest gift, his ability to play intuitively, instinctively, and to make plays and to create good out of bad, which is what he did all day against Penn State. You can't, I mean, I tell you, when I was watching him, who he reminded me of, I go way back to my childhood and think about Roger Staubach and Archie Manning just scrambling around, making the team around them so much better. I really thought before that game that UCLA was the worst Power 4 team in the country. I just watching them, and
I'm still not sure they're not.
Well, they may be,
but he on that day, just that day, it's like, and Matt, that's a very profound thing that Matt says is it gives you the very best, and because he's in that spot for the very worst of the sport, which is Matt's implication with that statement.
Yeah,
his father's complicitness in putting him in that position. That kid didn't. That kid just being a dutiful son and listening to us. We've been through that. But the Jerry Neuheisel thing and the way they're insetting the father while the game's going on. Listen, I come from a Penn State background. Those people were dog cussing those CBS people for doing that. Could you imagine, John, us being on Garza Law fifth quarter fan reaction, this awful football team that the Vols are favored by 26.5 points over, just ran all over us. And the father's up there jumping up and down on set, on the screen, like in the picture while the game's going on. They made a total mockery of the football game itself because his son, as Chris Gray said yesterday on the air, looks like my sister, her photos when she was in 8th grade over at Bearden Middle School. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
No, and see, you go back, think back, one of the best stories in college football this year has been Joey Aguilar.
Yes.
The much-traveled Joey Aguilar, who was told you can't play at this level. Can't play at this level. You definitely can't play at this level. And he says, yeah, I can play at this level. And so isn't it interesting that one of the best stories in college football is a Tennessee quarterback, and now another former Tennessee quarterback is one of the best stories in college football.
And, John, they will stay linked together the rest of the year. And I'm proud of Nico, really. I'm serious. Because the kid showed a lot of fight. I called him a flatliner on here, kind of a deadbeat quarterback, didn't raise the level of guys around him, and he didn't do that here.
No,
we did not see that guy for 1 second, not for one series, not for one play did we see that guy.
No. I just
that was crazy.
When he got in the it was as though when he got in the open field for Tennessee, he was thinking, okay, now where should I go down? Where should remember the play where he was thinking so much that play where he just ran out of bounds as time ran
down.
Who does that?
Listen,
besides Joe Milton.
Well,
but
Matt, you're here's a thing conclusion I've come to with Nico is never underestimate the power of desperation in our lives. All of us.
On patrol live, running away.
That's true.
Got to get out of here.
Hey, that adrenaline that was gone through his body. Hey, Matt, I wonder if word had gotten back to his family that, hey, next year nobody wants you in this sport. They don't see you as a Power 4 quarterback because they're shopping themselves. I wonder if that desperation, Matt, played into what he did Saturday because that's what it looked like. He looked like a desperate guy out there fighting for his life.
Yeah, I mean, it might have. I don't know. I mean, they have fallen. I mean, that team is so bad.
So bad.
I mean, literally didn't have a pulse all season, and to rise up and it sounded like from some of the stuff I read that Nico kind of took over the locker room after the coaching changes and kind of rallied the troops and like took ownership of everything, which.
Again,
I mean, nobody else on that team could do that, and that's he probably couldn't do that here because he wasn't good enough on the field. But like it's just an incredible game, and it just, I mean, it's just such a stunning result. Probably the most stunning result. I mean, Bama losing at Vandy last year was stunning, especially in the moment. It's not as stunning looking back, but probably since Tennessee went to South Carolina and lost in 22. I mean, that's a playoff team that is like a 4-touchdown favorite and literally, gets embarrassed by a team that was dead.
And the commonality there is Spencer Rattler, who turned out to be a pretty good story in that he was He was Caleb Williams, took his job, shows up as a freshman,
Desperation.
takes his job in Oklahoma, and now he's at a bad South Carolina team, not a good offensive line, just playing out the string. And he had the game of his life against Tennessee, against a playoff contender. So, I go back, Brian and I were exchanging texts during the game. It was a Friday night game. UCLA was playing New Mexico. Nobody in the Rose Bowl. Nobody there. In New Mexico, just lining up and running off tackle, play after play after play, and UCLA couldn't stop. And I said, they're not winning a game. UCLA is not. If they lose to Northwestern, they won't win a game. And they lost to Northwestern.
Yeah, they got just manhandled by them and then backdoor covered. We're going to take a brief timeout. When we continue, Matt has ranked the SEC teams. We're going to grade him live on the air. I'm going to endeavor to do that tomorrow. I would encourage anybody to take out your phone and try to rank the SEC teams. Just 1 through whatever you want to do. It is so freaking hard. It's like that quarterback list we did a couple weeks ago. It is so freaking hard to try and tell one team from another in this crazy league right now. I mean, it has never been harder. And God knows who's going to be standing at the end of the year in this thing. But we'll get some calls in as well. We're going to grade Matt's work over at tclub.team. Check it out. Check out the blog. Plus, many of your comments, your observations of college football are in the blog today as well. You dominated the blog today. Tomorrow on the blog, C's going to help me with this. We're going to do kind of a mid-season teams you need to root for, teams you need to root against in the playoff hunt for Tennessee. Because we're getting ready to get to that point where we're going to be scoreboard watching. And I'm going to tell you something. Being in a market where your team's alive is a lot of fun. And the way you remain alive is you beat the teams on your schedule you're supposed to beat. And one of those games is Saturday. You cannot do what Penn State did at UCLA because you will not live to tell about it. You can't lose one of those games on your schedule, whether it's at home or on the road, as we continue with more hour 2 after this.
Whether it's baseball, football, softball, church groups, or schools, if you're raising money, do it with locally roasted grade A grounds coffee. I'm Billy Miller, a Vol alum and Knoxville native. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% back to our East Tennessee community. Get started today by visiting our website at gradeagrounds.com.
Score a TD every time with T3 Vodka. T3 is Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. T3 Vodka is taking the Volunteer State by storm. T3 Vodka, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, where quality isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. Filtered 10 times and 80 proof. T3 Vodka delivers a smoothness that's unmatched. This dedication to excellence has already earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades. T3 is a 5-time gold medal winning vodka and the 2025 SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner. Whether you're sipping it neat or on the rocks or mixing up your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka is your choice for a premium, award-winning experience. Score a T3 TD and ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, drink T3 Vodka, and score a touchdown every time. T3, Tennessee's premium vodka, distributed by Athens Distributing Company. Please drink responsibly.
Basilio here. No one does it like Alumni Hall. I'm here to tell you, living Vol fan, only one place. That's the best place to shop for Tennessee gear, and that's Alumni Hall. The best and largest selection of Tennessee apparel for the whole family. Top brands like Nike, Champion, Columbia, Peter Millar. Load up on hats, accessories, Yeti, all your tailgating necessities. Download the Alumni Hall app, click account, and it'll tell you how much Hall cash you've earned. You earn $10 in rewards for every $150 you spend. Alumni Hall, with physical locations
in Murfreesboro, Bristol, and 3 locations in Knoxville, now open in Johnson City. Pop into Alumni Hall and get ready and tell them Tony B sent you. When it's time for a fresh coat of paint, run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. Interior and exterior, Walker's Painting's been making it beautiful since 1999 across the Knoxville area. New construction, repaints, commercial, residential, free estimates available. And get this, mention you heard Walker's Painting on the Basilio Show, 10% off your first job. Let's go! Run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. 865-688-1410. That's 865-688-1410. Walker's Painting, making it beautiful since 1999. Check out the ad at the blog at tclub.team. Walker's Painting.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm going to hop online and I'm going to get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, it's a White Claw day. Light and refreshing tasting, uniquely cold way filtered. There's an iconic flavor for everyone. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most. When you're together with White Claw, every day is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta grab it. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Got a problem tree looming over your home? Call ECR Total Landscapes. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, our certified pros get the job done safely and efficiently. We're licensed, insured, and ready 24/7 for emergency calls. Big or small, we cut them all. ECR Total Landscapes. Call now for a free estimate, 865-384-2012, and mention promo code FANRUN for free stump grinding on any tree removal now through the end of the year. Also, visit us at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Basilio here for Budget Transmissions. TGMD, the great Matt Dixon, took his Ford Escape to budget, and like our Gold Bullet back in the day, it was a total mess. And now, Matt's back in the game. He's got a new transmission, axle, wheel bearing, both radiator hoses, engine mounts, coolant hoses. I mean, his Ford Escape was about to escape to the junkyard, but he didn't begrudge it. He took it to budget, and now he's on his way back to Omaha. Budget Transmissions, over 30 years in business, conveniently located in Bearden. All extended service contracts are honored. A gold certified Repair Pal member. 865-584-4391. 865-584-4391. Budget Transmissions. Don't begrudge it. Take it to budget.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama ZZ approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and ZZ.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols.
TB back with you, 865-200-5402. We're having a robust conversation off the air. Several people that listen to us either on the Twitter video thing or the Twitter Spaces heard our conversation there. But the spirit of what we're doing here, there's just so much to talk about that we're even filling our timeouts here with it. Let me keep this live and legal and local because I'm not sure if I did this, but let's do it.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville and W289CU Knoxville, Fanrun Radio.
So we're going to go to our phones on a day where we just continue to try and make sense of where we are in college football. And we're not alone because this is an endeavor that's going on around the country. And if you do what we're doing and you're smart, you lean into this because it's a lot of fun. There are so many things to talk about. There are so many takes that you can have in real time. Today over at tclub.team/TonyBasilio.com, Matt Dixon went ahead and listed his squads and did his rankings. And Matt has Alabama 1. John, you do a ranking each week for your chain over at the News Sentinel, where you combine, which is a good idea, the SEC and the Big Ten, which essentially is going to give you probably, I would think, seven playoff teams, maybe 8 combined out of that lot before it's over. Probably 8, thinking about it. 5 and 3. 5 from this league, 3 from their league would be my guess. Who knows? Last year it was, what was it, guys? 4 and 3? They got 4 in
Big Ten. Yeah, because Indiana sneaked in there. So
here are Matt's rankings. Okay. Matt has Alabama 1. Then we'll go to the phones. Matt has Alabama 1, Ole Miss 2, Georgia 3, A&M 4, Oklahoma 5, and the Vols at 6. How's that stack up, John, to what you came up with? And then we'll go to the phones.
Okay, and what I'm doing, I'm not saying that this is how I think they'll finish.
Right.
But just based on what they've accomplished, I would go with Oklahoma 1. I put a lot of stock in that Michigan win. Ole Miss 2nd, big win against LSU. Texas A&M 3rd, the big win at Notre Dame. Those are all, to me, significant games. Then I go to Alabama. I know Alabama's playing really well right now, but I don't just discount that Florida State game. They got manhandled in that game. And I don't think Alabama, it's not as bad as it looked in that game, but it's not as good as it looked when it jumped on Georgia and got that big lead. Then I would go with Georgia, Tennessee, and LSU. But when I look at then I would,
where's Missouri?
Missouri. See,
that's what's crazy about the league. There are it's 8 or 9 deep to where you could say, well, this team, could make the playoff. This team could do this, or this team could catch fire if they get healthy. And the Vols are in the middle of that. Hey, Matt, when you think about your rankings, right? Are you ranking them like John is for the moment or how they're going to finish? How do you think about your rankings as you do that?
A little of everything. I try to project ahead. I try to value, what teams have done on the field.
Yep.
And just kind of all of it. I usually like to put them in tiers, and I couldn't really do that. I think Kentucky's by far the worst team in the league. But after that, Like Mississippi State, I think is a credible team. Arkansas can at least score. We'll see how they look defensively after these changes. I mean, Florida's obviously really talented and just beat Texas. Like it's hard to put them in tiers because they're all just really compacted together. But I just kind of I do a little bit of everything when I rank them. So I could do it. If I did it today, I'd probably have a different list, to be honest. I mean, it's really hard to do.
Well, that's what I was saying before we went to the break, and then we'll go to the phones. But when you're doing this, you do, if you're thoughtful, right? You could sit there and argue with yourself. Like, why am I? Because how do I separate one of these teams from another? It's nearly impossible. It's nearly impossible to do that. And that's kind of how good the league is. But it's also how there just aren't any great teams. Like Matt in his thing has Auburn way down at 14. I think Auburn's going to beat his number one team this week. I think Auburn's going to get Georgia. Now, I called the Alabama-Georgia loss earlier in the year. I look at Georgia, and I say they might be right now the best team in the league or among the best teams in the league or whatever, wherever Matt has. Where's Matt have Georgia? He has right near the top. He has them at 3. When you talk about a league, and I'm on the air, and I haven't been drinking, and I think Team 14 is going to beat Team 3.
Well,
and you guys aren't laughing at me. I mean, it could
no,
happen.
Because we just saw Florida beat Texas. Florida had won
point.
one game, and here's the thing.
That's the point.
Here's two teams that don't even come up when you're talking about ranking, Auburn and Florida. I thought going into the season, Auburn might be the most improved team in the league. And it didn't get blown out by Oklahoma. That was a reasonably close game. And you point out, would you be shocked if Auburn beat Alabama in the last game of the year?
No, sir.
Not in that rivalry.
No,
certainly not. And Florida now, when you look at what Florida's done, their defense is better. Florida's better than I thought it would be. It's funny to say that because it's 2-3.
Yeah.
But the team it puts on the field, I still think Florida's biggest problem is coaching, not players. It's much better in the trenches, offensive line, defensive line, than I thought it would.
Mauled that poor Texas team, John, to your point.
Yeah.
That was a mauling, guys. You know, it's real, like, and I'm a guy that has fun with the whole Arch Manning thing. Why not? And it's been sort of a, kind of a weird deal for him. And Bino was giving me hell about it yesterday. But the truth is, you could have put any quarterback back there in college football Saturday, and he wouldn't have succeeded. That kid had zero. First of all, he's got zero chance anyway because he's fighting himself. But he had zero chance Saturday. Zero.
Who he reminded me of? He reminded me of Nico against Oklahoma last year for Tennessee. I know Tennessee won the game.
Just overwhelmed.
But he looked overwhelmed, and he wasn't trusting his instincts.
Yeah.
It's like he's trying to think, okay, I gotta go through my progressions here. I've got to look. No, you got to run for your life. That's what you got to do.
Hey, Matt, that's a kid right there that looks like he could benefit from some Jerry Neuheisel coaching. The Jerry Neuheisel the playbook, Matt.
Just go out there and wing it.
Yeah, well, he might need UCLA's offensive line too. I mean, because that was unbelievable how bad they are. Like Arch it gets all the headlines, and it's for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
And they're preseason number one team. That is a very poorly coached team. That team just looks awful.
Awful.
That offensive line,
awful,
terrible. They had 2 plays where they could have downed a punt like inside the Florida 2-yard line, and they were touchbacks. Like those could be game changing. Like that's just a very poorly coached team. I don't know what's going on there because they were really solid last year, and I guess they lost some of those kind of gamer, like really good college players that aren't great pros. But that team just doesn't look well coached at all. And Arch isn't great, and I mean he might barely be average, but he's far from their biggest issue.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
He's an issue, but he's not. It's kind of like UCLA.
Yeah.
Well, it's not their biggest issue.
No. And you look at Texas, and I think Texas had a really good offensive line last year, lost a lot of key guys. But we think of Texas with their recruiting, with their NIL money and their transfer portal, they'll go you just assume they'll be good in the offensive line because they can pay. and they can recruit. And even their receivers, they lost some key receivers, but people just assume that, well, who's the guy? Ryan Wingo. I mean, you think these guys are going to step up. They really haven't. I didn't see their – it was hard. It's hard to tell on TV, but it didn't look like their receivers were getting open.
Hey, Florida guys, I'm telling you right now, throw dirt on them if you want. They might incur some losses before us. They are awesome on defense. Not good, not very good. Imagine, guys, if you put a decent offense with that defense they have. John, they're on the field all the time in these games. All the time.
Well,
they're really good.
What's going to happen with
what they do with Miami? Go back to that Miami game.
Oh, I know.
It was an absolute street fight for the ages.
Yeah.
And they turned it into a street fight. They put that Miami team, who might be the best team in the country, because they really spent a lot of money. And by the way, this Thomas kid that they got from the Vols went crazy Saturday night. That's what the thing about this area is. You got former players like who was it the week before that got trampled for us? Our former receiver guys.
Squirrel White.
Squirrel White.
You got guys that are in the middle of everything now, like all these teams do.
Here's I think what's Florida's problem though. By the time Florida gets to Tennessee, I think the defense might have just caved in. Too much on it. Too many losses. It's not going to hold up against that schedule. The offense is too, and the coaching. That's the biggest problem with Florida. Florida should be able to, gosh, with that receiver they got, Dallas Wilson.
Oh my gosh,
he looked like an NFL receiver right there, like one of those.
He's 18.
Yeah, he looks
like another one of these freak guys.
Yeah, one of those.
Florida's going to get hammered, I think, by A&M.
I don't think they'll get hammered. I think they'll hold their own and they'll slow down. They will make it hard for A&M to run and force Marcel Reed to make plays.
He's going to feel it.
Yeah, when he's running that zone read, he will get hit.
Hammered. So many compelling games, guys, coming up. I mean, let's go to the phones. Go ahead, Matt.
Well, I was just going to say, Florida's issue is they can only win games like one way. Like they have to be that ball control with a lead, like they jumped out Saturday. They can't come from behind, and especially the way Napier coaches, they're really conservative. You know, you run the play clock down. You like to do play actions. Like they have to have a lead. Like if you get them down 10-0 or 14-0 early in a game, they're in a whole lot of trouble.
I like to see that.
But I mean, again, you can say that about a lot of teams. I mean, Vanderbilt's kind of that way. Also, they kind of have to play with a lead and just shorten games. But when you can do that and the game script goes your way, you can beat just about anybody.
I'm not doing this thing I was doing last week, which is Florida's going to incur a bunch of losses. I didn't see a team that's going to lose a ton of games.
I still think it will, Tony.
I don't know, guys.
I think a lot of that game Saturday.
You can defend like that, man. It's tough.
Well, but
there's like 2 road wins in the league.
LSU has a great defense, but its offense has become a huge hindrance. LSU reminds me now, Florida, it's supposed to have this first-round draft pick at quarterback. I believe Nussmeier is injured.
Yeah, I do too.
But, my gosh, put Michael Van Buren in there and run the ball. But they can't run the ball. So, I just think when you rely that much on defense in today's game, eventually the defense gives way.
That's why what the Vols did last year was pretty damn remarkable. And the running back we had, I didn't appreciate at the time. That is just a remarkable accomplishment to work around a quarterback in this day and age and get home. I don't care whether your schedule's easy, hard. You're playing in the Southeastern Conference, and to get home at 10-2 is a hell of an accomplishment. And we'll go to the phones.
And it's going to be an accomplishment for anybody in this league to get to 10-2 this year.
Oh, they're going to be.
What if you end up with a world? What if you end up with 7, 9, and 3 teams? Try sorting that out.
To the phones we go, and it can all begin to happen this weekend if that Auburn team gets Georgia. that throws the whole league in chaos if that happens. Now you got total chaos.
See, what if Auburn and Georgia Tech both beat Georgia? It's got 3 losses, but it knocks off Ole Miss and Texas.
To the phones we go. And the combinations, like John's talking about, the potential combinations are just pretty damn crazy. Let's go to the phones. We'll take them in the order we got them on your TLD Logistics phone lines. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony, Madison in Texas. How you guys doing?
Hey, Madison. Great to talk to you.
Great to talk to you guys. Yeah, it is a volatile sport right now. And as somebody who's trying to gamble on this stuff, I mean, it's just all over the board. I'm losing credibility as a picker faster than Mark in Colombo is losing credibility as a quarterback evaluator. So that's another story.
Poor Mark in Colombo, man.
Hey,
he was throwing dirt on our guy last week, Aguilar, and then he declared Nico dead, a bust. And then he went out and went off. Come on, Colombo, be better, man. You can do better.
Well, as
He
far
can
as
do better, Tony.
I'll give you
I
a
think.
betting. I'll give you a betting tip this week.
I hit it.
Who did I rely on all last year? Kent State to lose. I'm picking Kent State to beat the spread and win against UMass.
Let's freaking go, man.
3.5-point favorite.
Why not? The Titans even won a game on Sunday. Why not?
Kent State's favored?
Yes. UMass. Matt, check out UMass. UMass lost to Bryant. And that's not named after Bear Bryant. That's a school, I think, in Rhode Island. What?
Brian, what's Bryant's nickname? Are they the Kobe's?
Bryant.
Just say Tigers.
I have no idea.
Brian. Just say Tigers.
The Bryant Tigers.
The Bryant Houndstooths.
There you go,
The Bryant Bears.
So, Madison, what do you think? Madison, help us make sense of this. What do you think?
Well, guys, I mean, I think with Matt putting the balls at 6, right on the outside of the playoff looking in, we got a lot of work to do. But I think we're a good team. I think that's pretty accurate. Again, it's a probability sport, and we're trying to use previous results to reflect future performance. And it doesn't always work that way because we don't have all the answers to the questions. We just don't have all the data that we need. So, but it makes for fun conversations. And you guys were talking about this Penn State UCLA game, and I was listening to the broadcast. I think you guys might find this interesting if you haven't already mentioned it. So only 5 times in college football history, going back to the 1800s, or I guess since the AP poll has been out, a 0-4, an 0-4 or worse winless team has not defeated a top 10 ranked opponent since 1985, and only 5 times in history. Can you guys believe that?
Say that again so I can understand it. Only
An
5 times in
0-4
the history of the poll.
An 0-4 team.
0-4 or worse.
Or worse.
Has only defeated a top 10 ranked opponent 5 times. On Saturday, it was the 5th time. Hasn't happened since 1985. And I'd also be interested to know, right, because UCLA has been wire to wire. They haven't led all year. Yeah. I mean, that might be the only time that's happened, Tony. This could be one of the worst. I mean, I think it is. It's one of the biggest upsets in college football history we just witnessed.
And UCLA may never lead again either.
You know what's funny, guys? Because I come from a Penn State family, right? And I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding about this. They want that guy absolutely fired. Like,
oh, there's no coming back from that loss, which I can't remember who said it, but it was probably the line of the weekend. Your big game James thing. It actually was a big game for Franklin because it was at the Rose Bowl. I wish I could. I had a lot of window time over the week, or driving time over the week. I can't remember who said that, but it was the line of the weekend.
Madison, who won that? You said the last upset of that magnitude was in 1985. Do you know which teams were involved in that?
Let's see. I don't have that with my data right here, but we can check. Maybe Brian can check that out for us. Yeah, in 1985 was the last time. Looks like it happened in 1941. It was Pitt and Fordham. Fordham was number 3. A lot has changed since then. Let's see. The 1985 one was UTEP beating BYU, who was number 7 at the time, 23-16.
BYU was coming off a national championship season. It won the national title in 84. and it had
Robbie Bosco at quarterback because Steve Young was off to the USFL.
So yeah, Steve Young would come.
Yep.
So and UTEP was probably Yeah, you said it was winless.
UTEP's always been winless. I'm not sure if they won since then. They live winless.
Speaking of Kent State, John, you'll love this. So it looks like UTEP lost 51-24 to Kent State two weeks prior, and they did not win again in 1985 other than that one win against BYU.
Oh,
wow.
my gosh.
I wonder.
What
That
a
is
game.
Crazy, man.
That's a great stat.
35-point underdog.
Jeez.
Sold out to stop the pass and walked away with one of the program's most elevated victories.
35-point underdog. There's never been a greater underdog than that win.
Yes. Remember that one year that it was Stanford beat
App
that
State.
USC team.
Harbaugh at Stanford.
They were a 41-point underdog that day and won the game.
Oh, I forgot about that.
That was
game.
crazy. And then the App State Michigan game, I don't know what the spread was, but that was a 1AA team.
Well, they probably didn't even have a line.
One AA national champions, though.
Yeah,
it's still a huge upset, but nowhere near like these.
It just goes to show you, though, guys, UTEP won as a 35-point underdog and didn't win another game. I'm not so sure that history won't repeat itself, which is what I love about college football. It's all different. It's a data-driven deal. I don't know how these people are doing these spreads and getting, well, they're obviously not. It's got to take 7 or 8 weeks for the season to come into some kind of view.
Well,
make sense of it.
But maybe it doesn't. Maybe now we're in an era where it never really comes into focus.
Yeah, maybe you're right. But Madison's right. To people,
Boy, that is a great that UTEP. I'm so glad Madison called with that. That's what a great. And see, that would have been like Kent State last year. I think fielded one of the worst teams in college football history. If it would have knocked off the best team in the MAC.
Yeah. The crazy thing about Penn State
Although the best team in the MAC ain't that good.
Penn State was supposed to be all that in a bag of chips this year, guys.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people thought Penn State was better than Ohio State.
And Texas was supposed to be all that in a bag of chips, and they've got 2 losses now. They're going to be on the outside looking in.
I want to see Arch Manning play behind a good offensive line before I say won't make it.
Hey, Madison, what are those Texas fans around you? What are they saying in that community there?
It's funny, Tony. So one of my good buddies here. So I used to live in Austin. I just moved back up to Dallas, and I've been all over the Texas in the major cities around here.
Uh-huh.
And one of my good friends, who's a big Texas guy, I was texting him on Saturday, just trying to check in on him. Honestly, I want to make sure he's okay, and he didn't get back to me. So I don't think it's going very well. It's just like I think you said a few weeks ago. The best thing in sports is unexpected success. And unexpected, when you're expecting success and you really suck like they do, it's a tough pill to swallow. So they're not very loud. You don't see a whole lot of Longhorns and people wearing T-shirts and stuff like you typically do. They're kind of those ones are staying in the closet for now.
Gonna be like the Cowboy fans come November, December. My old joke is time for you guys to put your stuff away for another season. Let the playoff teams play. Cowboy fans, put your stuff away. Put some mothballs in there with them.
Some of those Texas fans need to start pulling for the Red Raiders.
There you go, John. The real team in Texas, the Red Raiders.
They probably already do.
Funny stuff.
Yeah,
so
that's
Madison,
a pretty big rivalry. I don't see them going that direction. But I'll tell you what, that Texas Tech team. I mean, it's they're not going to play anybody this year.
No,
but
they're not.
Could be a force to be reckoned with. I'd be interested to see what happens when they get in the playoffs.
So what's your best bet of this week, Madison? Have you got one yet?
Well, I mean, I'll tell you guys this. I know it's close to home, but there's really no excuse for the Vols not to cover this 12.5-point spread. I know that obviously Petrino is coming down. He's going to be he's going to be kind of similar to UCLA, how they got rid of the coach and now maybe they're playing a little bit more inspired. But since they've got analysts and GAs running the defense, as bad as that defense has been, and I'll tell you guys one thing. this Chris Brazzell guy, I'm 31 years old. I haven't seen as much football as you guys have, but I have not seen a better receiver wearing orange than this guy. I mean, he is a freak of nature. Watching him in person at Mississippi State, I mean, that guy's unguardable. And with the quarterback we have, guys, I mean, we got a lot of NFL players on offense and on defense. I've been seeing, I saw Colton Hood mocked in the top 10 in one draft.
Yeah.
Tennessee. You've got McCoy.
Tennessee.
You've got Joseph. So
yeah,
we should cover that spread.
I agree with that. And I appreciate the call, Madison. Thank you. The thing about Saturday's game, though, is now with McCoy not playing, he mentions McCoy's name. And by the way, Heupel had a very curious comment about the McCoy guy, who we've gone out of the way to say that he really wants to play. In fact, he wants to play against the suggestion of his counsel and his inner circle, who are encouraging him. Don't step on the field till you're 100% ready. This guy, I was told last week, went so hard in trying to get out there and get cleared and prove that he can play, that he's got all kinds of swelling in his knee and some discomfort in his knee. And he really, the plan was for him to come back for the Arkansas game. That was his hope. Now, who knows when his body's going to cooperate. That was one of the qualifiers you learn to say down through the years, is with all these guys, is when your body cooperates is when you're going to be back. And really, God only knows when that's going to be for him. So this leads me to say this. I think Arkansas will find those openings in our secondary this weekend. They're going to make some big pass plays. I fully expect people to be talking about on the show how we gave up some big plays to them, but we're going to hit some big plays on them. I just don't see how this game is not a combined 70-point football game. I just don't see how that's not going to happen.
I could see it like being 49-24 though.
Yeah,
I don't.
That's
when
possible.
you think about Tennessee playing at
75
home,
points. Yeah.
Josh Heupel, scripting plays to start a game.
72.
I mean, he looks at this defense and it's like, hey, which one of these weaknesses do we want to exploit first?
That's exactly right. Hey, Matt, if that Brazzell guy, I was asking Bino yesterday, if you could do a prop bet on him, which you can't. Thank God you can't do that in college. I can't imagine the pressure would be on these guys. Plus, they'd be betting on themselves. But if you guys were to set aside a number for him to bet one way or the other, how many yards for Brazzell, Matt? Saturday in that game to get action going both ways, what would the number be?
To give both ways, probably like maybe 140.
Yeah,
150.
Bino was like 90 yesterday. I'm like 90.
Well, but
he'll have 90 in the first quarter.
But here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
Arkansas will probably focus on him, and everybody else is going to be wide open.
Well, that's a good point.
So I would say it'd be like a little over 100.
That's what Bino said. Back to the phones we go. I'm with Matt Dixon. I stand with him. 865-200-5402. And the way Brazzell's been going, you got to throw 2 or 3 balls up to him just for the hell of it. I mean, this guy is on a heater of all heaters, is what we're saying. Every ball near him's caught.
Is that not what they're doing? I mean, they're throwing the one-on-one jump balls to him.
Keep doing it.
I wish he could play as physical as that Florida true freshman is allowed to play with the way he pushed off on Texas.
He totally
I wish
pushed
Brazzell
off.
was alled to do that too.
He pushed off on the goal line on that.
Well,
play
yeah,
that broke.
I thought Brazzell got away with that against Georgia.
So did I.
But certainly not against Alabama.
Or
But
Mississippi State.
I mean Mississippi State.
Yeah. Let's go back to the phones. TLD Logistics phone lines. Hi, you're on the air. Welcome in.
Hey, gents. Ranking the SEC teams, do we need to rank that on merit when we do it, or rate them on where we think they would line up on a neutral field, who would be favored over each other?
I did mine on merit. So, yeah, you can do it any way you want to.
Okay.
So who would you – I mean, how did you rate them? Did you do it on who you think?
I haven't done it yet. I wanted to sit down and do it after I kind of knew what the parameters were.
It would be a completely different list if you do it on how you think they'll finish, who you think would win on a neutral field, or who's accomplished the most. I mean, you got like 11 teams
But the crazy thing this year, guys, is those power ratings, those neutral field power ratings. These teams get on the field with each other, and these games are not playing out the way they're supposed to play out.
They're not.
That's the problem with the sport.
I would have Florida ahead of a lot of teams on a neutral field.
I'm with you, Rusty. I am with you, man.
Yeah.
A lot of talent.
The game plan, the offensive game plan that they used against Texas was beautiful. Ball got the ball 28 times. They ran it down their throat, and they made Lagway throw off of that very conservatively, didn't ask him to do too much. Run the football, and then take easy throws off of that. The LSU game plan and the South Florida game plan that Florida used was criminal. Coaching malpractice, because they wanted Lagway to throw first in those ball games and barely ran the ball. John is so right. It's the coaching at Florida that's going to get them, because they're going to go back to a game plan eventually in these next few ball games where they're going to screw it up.
Well, I think you're onto something there. And when you think, but again, I did not think Florida had this kind of talent at the line of scrimmage, offense or defense. And you
on paper, they got a really good bunch of dudes on both lines.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, like not just watching them play, but coming into the season, they had dudes on paper.
I know,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I just think I looked at what I'd seen so far, and I know, I don't put a lot of stock in recruiting rankings. Maybe I should put more in it. But you're right, Florida. The irony is that Dan Mullen was fired from Florida because he didn't recruit well enough. Now you have a coach who's recruited well who can't coach. If you could have given Dan Mullen Billy Napier's talent, you'd have a conference championship contender.
You'd have a juggernaut.
Yeah.
You'd have a juggernaut. Mm-hmm. Hey, so Texas, I just want to throw this super fast about Texas. They're throwing nothing but screens behind the line of scrimmage and deep shots. They do not throw the ball between 5 and 10 yards. Who does that sound like? Maybe Tennessee last year before changing the offense a little?
Why is that, Rusty? You don't think they'll trust that kid?
It's Sark's offense. It's what they've always done under Sark. It's his offense. There's just no built-in short, quick passes, so you can slow down pass rushes with short, quick passes. They just don't do it.
They just don't have the offensive line to hold up. I think part of it.
Not when they take deep shots, they don't. But I mean, if you're throwing a two-step hitch really, really quick for 5 yards, that don't take much offensive line. But they don't have it built into their offense, and we didn't last year. That's why we changed. We're getting balls out of the quarterback's hand quick sometimes.
I wonder if that's a pride thing with those coaches, like the same way in college basketball, some coaches just won't play zone at all, even though nobody can shoot in their sport. Same kind of thing.
Well, I mean,
arrogance.
I tell you what, we're getting a new appreciation for Quinn Ewers.
Yeah.
And I think Steve Spurrier was on something when he said before the season, and I think he was half joking, but he said, everybody's talking about how good Arch is, but he couldn't beat out a 7th-round draft pick
Spurrier.
Ewers was a pretty good college quarterback. He's not an NFL guy, but he was good for them. Very similar to Joey. Very similar.
Yeah,
Tony, I got an Eagles thing I want to end with. I know you're gonna. But before that, I want to talk about real quick. We talked about this last night. Me and Colombo and Lee and everybody. We started naming the best players in college football. Jeremiah Smith's the best player in college football. Jeremiah Love's the next best. Caleb Downs is the third best. Probably the left tackle at Alabama. Next best. How far down the list do you go if you're naming the best players at any position in college football before we would name a quarterback? We were like to 15 or 20 before we would put a quarterback on the best players in college football list. How crazy is that?
Well, see, I'm
not interesting, man.
I'm not talking about a pro prospect. I thought John Mateer, to me, was the best player in college football before he got hurt.
And see, that's another thing. Are we ranking
He's
these
not
guys
on the same planet as Jeremiah Smith.
Right, in terms of value on the field.
Jeremiah Smith may be the best wide receiver in the NFL if he was there right now.
We saw that in our game with him.
He's a freak.
Dude, he's like,
well, I know, but you evaluate
how do you quantify
a quarterback? I mean, I can't really compare a quarterback to receiver because John Mateer was Oklahoma's whole offense. He's running it 15 times and throwing.
He's going.
He's going to get himself killed.
Yeah.
Which he already
Yeah.
hit.
He already
So,
is.
Tony, the Eagles thing, and this is Eagles centric because it pertains to what happened on Sunday, but it's more about the overall sport.
Yep.
How can we review things such as we throw a flag for unintentional grounding, and then the booth tells us, hey, there was a guy in the area where the ball was thrown? We can review that, but it's taboo and not okay to go review, hey, your receiver was tackled while the ball was in the air. We can review. Why is it we pick and choose what can be reviewed and what can't be? For me, it's half pregnant. It's got to be all of them can be reviewed or nothing can.
And Rusty, I appreciate the call. He's talking about Dallas Goedert, who got completely mugged. I mean, a mugging. Like we were talking about on Patrol Live earlier. There'd be criminal charges. Both guys, two defenders, essentially pulled him down with a ball in the air. Now, the Eagles had that loss coming to them. We all know that in Eagle Nation. In the last 2 minutes of college and pro games, you ought to be able to review those things. If you're going to have a review in your game, and I hate review, I would get rid of all that. I think all it does is slow games down personally, because in the college ranks, they review and don't get it right. And especially in this league, because there's no what's the word I'm looking for here?
Accountability?
Well, accountability is one of them, but they don't bring you inside the conversation they're having. There's no transparency.
You're a huge fan of that. I know, but I
want transparency.
Well,
I
understand
why
that.
you're calling what you're calling when you review something.
The idea that these guys can review it and get it wrong, that shouldn't happen. I would rather have no reviews.
As we continue with more, we got to get a brief time out. More after this.
Guests appear on the TLD Logistics Hotline, online at tldlogistics.com.
Are you currently a residential electrician? Would you like more benefits, better pay, more upside? What about a $3,000 signing bonus? Free company paid health insurance, annual profit share, company vehicle, gas card, much more. Call Advent Electric today. Advent, known for their large commercial jobs around town, and due to high demand, they're adding additional roles for their residential department. Maybe you know a friend, family member that's a residential electrician. Spread the word. Email hr@adventelectric.com. hr@adventelectric.com. 865-588-0631 and ask for the Tony B 3K signing bonus. Advent Electric is hiring. You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land. Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contracting. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold, refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a 2-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Whether it's baseball, football, softball, church groups, or schools, if you're raising money, do it with locally roasted Grade A Grounds coffee. I'm Billy Miller, a Vol alum and Knoxville native. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% back to our East Tennessee community. Get started today by visiting our website at gradeagrounds.com.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family-owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Tony Basilio, and we are live once again with Chad Stockton of FC Alliance. And Chad, you're out there on the field, 100 strong here in Knoxville. Talk to me. What's been going on with FC Alliance now that the weather's heating up?
We're out here for the first night of the boys' tryouts. We have over 400 kids that'll be here tonight. So a lot of exciting times right now for us. Our club team start at U9 and we go all the way through U19. We have over 1,000 kids that come from Chattanooga from the Tri-Cities that make all our teams and make this club what it is today. So we're excited about it. We finished the younger kids a couple of weeks ago. We just finished the girls last night, and now we're on to our older boys program as we speak right now.
And we're blowing and going in the Tri-Cities. Tell me about it.
We started FC Alliance North 1 year ago, and coming off the first year, we're the largest, most competitive club up in the Tri-Cities area. We just finished our trials last night. Looks like right now we will be well over 400 kids for the upcoming season. So great things happening up there. We've put our boys into some really good regional leagues. So we're excited about what the future holds for them and also our girls programs.
If you want more information, check them out at fcallianceknox.org. That's fcallianceknox.org. Chad Stockton, keep growing the beautiful game here in East Tennessee.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tony.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care. I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called the Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
When it's past high noon, it's time for a vodka soda made with a vodka you've actually heard of. I'm talking White Claw vodka soda made with White Claw premium vodka. JB Smooth only drinks vodka soda made with the world's smoothest vodka.
And you can too. Pick you up a bottle of the triple wave filtered vodka that's been distilled 5 times. White Claw premium vodka comes in 4 flavors: black cherry, mango, pineapple, and just vodka. You haven't had vodka like this. No one has. White Claw Premium Vodka. Please drink responsibly.
TB back with you. Man, I mean, John is like crossing into the Rubicon here. He's presented by our friends, the great Jennifer Morris. Shout out to her. NextMoveSmokyMountains.com. We are heading for a TLD Logistics overtime. But before we do that, and then I'll be on this afternoon with Georgie Boy Plaster. Man, there's just so much to talk about. It makes me little kid excited. There is one line available if you want to get in with us on our TLD Logistics phone lines. And we're going to go back to our phones. Before we do, I was just sent this. The Vegas power ratings in the SEC. Let's see if I can find this. And then we go back to our phones because this is really, really interesting stuff. By the way, John, there is talk the reason that the Texas line is down to -2.5 is there's a lot of scuttlebutt. SEC staffs are expecting within the sport, I was just told, Mateer to play this week against Texas.
Why would they do that? I mean, if he's got a broken hand.
Matt, what are your thoughts on that? The fact that Mateer goes out there and tries to gut it out this week.
I think that's a bad move.
I do too.
Because he has to run to be effective. Yeah. And even though Texas had a bad day against Florida, that's still a pretty decent defense. And it's not like Texas is going to score a bunch. I mean, that Hawkins guy's awful. So it probably would be if Mateer was playing, Texas gets blown out.
And that's why.
It gives Oklahoma an out if they go 9-3. If you lose the game with Mateer out, that really kind of gives you some credibility there.
So the line is now 2.5, and here's what Vegas is thinking.
What's the over/under in that game?
That's what the line
35?
would be with a healthy Mateer on a neutral site. That's Vegas's pricing. So Corey,
are you telling me that they would favor Texas on a neutral site?
Vegas believes
playing.
Yes, Vegas believes.
No way.
Here are the numbers. I just got them a second ago. Let's see, where'd I get them? They over here.
I'm not buying that.
Are
we on the air now?
Yeah, here are the numbers. Vegas power ratings are Jennifer Morris, next move, SmokyMountains.com. Don't you dare buy or sell her home without her. She of Keller Williams. Don't you dare. Jennifer Morris, next move, SmokyMountains.com. Those of you watching us on YouTube, you're about to see John Adams in full regalia because Matt's given me a great idea. In fact, I want to encourage all of All Nation. We need to show our Arkansas friends some love at Calhoun's. If you have a neck brace, wear it on Friday in honor of Bobby Petrino. Matt just gave me a great idea that I need to wear one.
Yeah.
How great of a gimmick would it be? And I'm bringing the rouge for you.
How about a Bobby Petrino lookalike contest?
Not a bad. Well, I mean, it's like a month away from Halloween. We could do that.
I think bring like a pepperoni slab and slice it to your cheek, or tape it to your cheek.
Not a bad idea. Bryant might draw flies.
Okay, but here's how you go to your tailgate.
But it would be like a paisan to smell like Roni out there.
You get your motorcycle.
Yep, my dad used to eat Roni.
You get a former blonde volleyball player, put her on the back of the cycle.
Well, that's what you did. I'm not doing that. I'm a happily married man. The Vegas power ratings are as follows. Then we go to the phones. Matt had Alabama. That's the Vegas power. Vegas is power rated as the top team. If Tennessee and Bama played tomorrow, it'd be like a 10.5 point spread. That's what they say. I don't know. Don't argue. I didn't do it. Don't, send your cards and letters. Just don't send them to me.
This is all conjecture.
All right. Well, I'm just telling you what the power ratings are. Alabama is number 2, to John's point. Georgia is number 3, to Matt's point, which I think is where he had Georgia. Texas is still number 4. Vegas is not out on Texas. The thought is 2 road losses. I know what they're thinking, and they have a ton of talent. So they haven't caught up to Texas. So
I don't think they have that much talent.
I understand. You might have a value there in going against them. That's just where we are right now. LSU is number 5. Ole Miss number 6. Tennessee number 7. Oklahoma number 8. Florida number 9, Missouri number 10, and Vandy number 11, with Auburn 12. So Matt had it. Matt had it pretty good. The gap between A&M at 2 and Auburn at 12 is less than 6 points on a neutral field.
That's probably pretty accurate.
Which is crazy.
The final score of that game was 16-10 Texas A&M, I think.